All right, well, Tom is spending some time over at the Resource Center today.
Tom, I have no doubt that you're getting us some great tips. So what's going on over there?
What's going on is I'm getting some great tips and I'm going to pass them along to you, which is always what happens when I talk to Bruce Porter, as you said at the Resource Center.
That's
Good
right.
to see you again.
Good to see you.
All right. I like this right away. Top tricks to pay less tax on your retirement money.
Yeah.
You're going to show me some tricks, huh?
Yeah, I think we need to dive right in because, you know, when you talk about retirement, you've got to have a conversation with somebody about your budget and your strategic plan.
Right.
What are you planning to do in retirement? Maybe you need income now, maybe you don't. If you don't, you're going to defer to a later date.
Right.
So what's that look like? I think having a plan with a budget-minded plan, I think that's smart in retirement. Too many retirement people retire early, and what happens? The first 5 years, they spend a lot of money, and then they're stuck for the remainder of retirement with less funds.
Yes.
So I think a budget, staying on track, staying within the strategy that you
That goes across the board. Just because you retire doesn't mean you don't have to stick to a budget.
That's exactly right. And too many people just kind of have a free-for-all the first little while, and then they kind of regret it. Tax-favored investments can be part of a good retirement portfolio. Municipal bonds helps you avoid some federal tax.
Right.
Roth IRAs. Roth IRAs are all tax-free. So, you know, when you talk about Roth conversions, that's another technique for converting qualified plans, IRAs,
Right.
to tax-free planning. And so when you dive into Roth conversions, you know, you got to remember, you've got this silent partner in retirement called the IRS.
Yes, you do.
And so now, with our tax codes getting ready to change in 2026, there's a lot of conversation now on converting or buying out the IRS today at a less tax than what it will be in 2026 and beyond. We all know, don't be naive, taxes are going to go through the roof because they've given away too much money that we don't have. They've just created. You know, a producer of goods and services cannot create inflation. A consumer of goods and services cannot create inflation. The only way inflation is created by the federal government printing money to just do what they want, give away money, give it to foreign countries, give it to people to stay home, etc. So inflation is going to be a big thing. Buying out the IRS now might strategically be a good thing to consider because you pay less tax today than you will down the road.
And that's what you mean when you say buying out, you know, the IRS. Pay it now. Don't wait till later.
Pay it now. Convert that to a Roth.
Right.
Why do we do that? Because it's tax-free for the rest of your life.
Right.
To you, to your spouse, to your kids.
Take the bite now rather than later.
That's right.
All right.
Now, investment income, you got to remember interest and dividends are taxable income. Capital gains is taxable. Talk to a tax expert. If you're having heartache over the amount of tax that you're being taxed on your Social Security,
Right.
that means your provisional income is too high, and maybe you can adjust to where you don't have tax on your Social Security, but maybe you're in a situation where you can't. If your pensions, for example, are too high monthly, you're stuck. You're just going to have to accept the fact that your Social Security is going to be taxed.
There's not a magic bullet.
That's right. You have too much taxable.
But the last line on there is talk to an expert because with tax laws changing, with investment strategies changing, with your own personal strategies changing, it's good to have another pair of eyes that can look from outside in.
That's right.
Rather than inside in.
Talk to somebody like us. Talk to your accountants. They're not always the best financial planners, but they're good tax strategy type people. If you got any questions, if you want some guidance, go to our QR code here, schedule an appointment. 882-1800 is our phone number. Call and let's sit down, have a conversation, have some coffee, and visit about it.
That's it. And are you having any of your seminars coming up?
We have one tonight. We're booked up. We have one tomorrow booked up. We have two next week. I think we have 3 openings. Then we're going to possibly do 3 more in November before Thanksgiving. That's kind of up in the air yet. And then we'll be done until January, and then we'll kick that series up again.
But this is a good way to talk to the experts because it's free.
That's right. We don't charge.
All right, there's some dollars and cents for you. Back to you guys.